Recorded on September 12th, 2012 in front of a live internet audience. This week's Design Chat is brought to you by Procrastination. I'm going to write the commercial later. And by Jon Stewart. How can you not like that guy?
Well, I just thought it was a good idea. It was like, cool, I could just hang out and drink and talk about design, right? That seems perfect to me.
That's a vibe we're going for. Hello and welcome to Design Chat, the best live design discussion on the internet. I'm your host, Ryan McGovern. On Twitter, I'm at HooverJube and at DesignChat. Every once in a while, we get together with some of the coolest people from the design community. Today, we are talking to Serious Ron Lewis.
What's up, guys?
Bravo. Brought to us by Gerson Rodriguez, who I hope is in the chat room. I don't see him yet.
He'll probably show up.
He tweeted us up and he said we got to talk to this guy, and I was like, damn, Skippy, we got to talk to this guy. He's awesome, great talent, and we're doing amazing things. I can't wait to hear all about it, man. So thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be here with us.
Oh, it's totally my pleasure. I love doing these kind of things.
Which you mentioned earlier that you're going to be working late tonight. So are you actually going to, after you shut this down, you're going to be sitting back at your desk making some magic happen?
Yeah. Part of my shtick is I'm a procrastinator, so I wait till the last minute to do things. So I'll probably shut this down and go to work.
Nice. As are, many, I'm sure, who end up watching this show. I don't know, it kind of comes along with the design field, I guess. And maybe that'll lead us into our first question about, why does that happen? Why are so many creative types, professional creative types especially, why do they seem to perform better the closer that the deadline gets?
Well, I can't really speak for most creatives, but or at least design professionals. But for me, it gives me like where I have to think faster. I have to actually get to the idea quicker because the deadline's looming. So I don't spin my wheels a lot, and I don't chase down like weird ideas that end nowhere. It limits my time, so it limits my brain. So I have to like pick what comes first sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Usually we begin, how about for the people who maybe are not familiar with you and or your work, what you've done in the past, give us a brief sort of history on who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
I guess like going back, like I've always drawn, I've always been an illustrator, I've always painted, ever since I was a little kid. After high school, I went in to the Navy and got kicked out of boot camp almost immediately for beating somebody up. And then I decided that the military wasn't for me since I don't really like people telling me what to do. And then went to SCAD, decided I didn't like doing that, and then transferred to UGA, partied a lot, drew a lot more, painted a lot, and then realized I'm not going to make any money at this. So I applied to design school at UGA, and I got declined 3 times. And I was like, fuck you. I could do design. I don't need you to tell me what design is. And I lied to get my first gig at a sign shop, which is total bullshit. Like, it's not even a design job. It's worse than an art production job. And I really thought I knew what type was, and didn't really know what type was, didn't know what kerning was, didn't know any of the terminology. Just fuck shit up on a regular basis. And after that, just kind of made a lot of mistakes. Thought I was a badass and went to work for Ames Bros in Seattle. Barry Ames and Colby Schultz kind of run the company, and they're great guys. They do a lot of Pearl Jam posters, and Barry's brother is Jeff, and it was fun. It was a good time, and they taught me a great deal of what I know today and about the industry. And then got lucky at MailChimp. And I did a whole bunch of tours in corporate America and stuff like that, and you just kind of learn in those hellholes what to do and what not to do. And sooner or later, you'll end up at a gig doing something cool like this.
We've got a request in the chat room. What was the name of that company in Seattle again?
It's called Ames Bros. AMES Bros. And they're kind of known for a lot of the Seattle screen printing in the mid '90s during grunge era. They got Grammys for Pearl Jam albums and shit like that. They're a big deal. So, yeah, I got a book somewhere around here. I did have a book. It's somewhere around here, but
someone stole it from the library.
Yeah,
there's something to be said for fucking shit up, right? And being able to learn from that. And I would venture to say that there's a group of the population that's too scared to do it. That's too scared to make big enough mistakes to learn from, right?
Yeah.
And that sort of prevents them from growing as a creative or a professional at all. So what was it for you that made you turn that corner from I think I'm badass to I want to learn things?
I guess it's age. So, like when you're like 24 and 25, 26, you're like, fuck everybody, I'm the best. And when I turned 30, I was like, you know what? This is not the best way to do things. I need to sit down and like learn from people and listen to what they have to say and take critique. And even if I don't like it, realize that what they're saying is trying to better me. And it's a really grown-up way to look at things. But that's what helped a great deal. Is you have to be able to take critique. You have to listen to other people because the people around you are trying to make you better, and that's the only way you can get better.
From your history and a lot of the work that you post online, it seems like you have a very strong illustration sensibility, and that is that's usually part of the argument of is design art or is it design, all that BS argument. But I find it really, really interesting, and it probably has to do a lot to do with the culture of the company at MailChimp, because when you think about like mass emailing, and newsletters, there are so many companies out there that are really rigid and really formal, and they treat it like stuffy business. But with your design sensibility, you don't think, oh, well, that'll be a good fit for an email company.
Oh, I can't really, take credit for that. Like, I work for Ben Chestnut, and Ben Chestnut is an incredible guy to work for. He's a creative himself. He understands illustration. He understands art. He understands design. Working for somebody like that doesn't view what we do as design, but more as being a creative outlet to, express his company's needs and wants and to help people in their service. So really it's, I don't consider myself a graphic designer. I'm more of a graphic artist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never, design is great and I love design, but I'll never be Paul Rand. I'll never be like Massimo Vanelli. But it's like those guys are icons, and you got to look at their work, and it's just you got to try to learn as much as you can from that. I just apply a lot of different fields to one thing, and that one thing right now is MailChimp, and Ben Chestnut allows me to do that a great deal. He has a great creative morning talk. You should check that out. He talks a great deal about our company culture and what we do here.
So what was, how did that relationship even start? How did you discover MailChimp? And was it something you were searching for, or was it happenstance, or did they find you?
Actually, it was kind of happenstance. Twitter just released. It was like, I think it was '06 is when I really started, I think, fucking around with that stuff. And then I met our social person here at MailChimp, which is Amanda Louder. And
Mm-hmm.
she kind of like worked here at MailChimp when there was about 10 people. And she asked me to do a couple sticker designs for them. And I was like, sure, no big deal. I was just riding over at Turner. It was right down the street from us here in Atlanta. And so I just did it for free, or just did it for a couple beers and just for funsies, because I thought the company was really cool and I thought they gave a damn about what I did. enough to ask me. And met Ben, and he was super cool. And then the conversation started happening, and he invited me over, asked me if I want to work there, and I said yes.
Bam, just like that.
Yeah.
So you said he's got he's got a talk on Creative Mornings about the culture. That's something I'm really, really interested in. The where I'm at right now, I should mention we're at Symbolic. It's a great design group in West Dundee, Illinois. We'll talk a little bit more about them later in the CUSP conference, but they happen to use MailChimp. They're big fans. They use it for their clients, and before we started the show tonight, I was talking to them about it, and one of the things that they absolutely love about the service is the voice, right? The monkey and the way that he appears through everything and helps you, navigate through whatever situation. But it's a company with an opinion. So that's something I'm really curious to hear about from your point of view. The culture there internally and how you present your product.
Internally, we're all a bunch of nerds. We all love technology. We all love building stuff. We all love being creative. And when you get a bunch of those people together, you get a lot of different things that pop out in the product itself. Aaron Walters, our lead UX guy, I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He's a genius at what he does. He's the guy responsible for putting Freddie in the app and all the stuff he says. The stuff that Freddie says is inputted by engineers. There's a lot of great engineers with a lot of really demented humor. And it's good to give them an outlet to feel like they're part of the product. And that's kind of like our main thing. We want a lot of people touching this. We want a lot of people feeling like they can own what MailChimp is as a product. And because if you do that, you have to be careful about all the personality you put out there. And for the most part, this is a culture of making mistakes, and we learn from our mistakes. And I think it shows with our product that we're constantly learning, constantly updating, and just having fun. Really, we want to work here and we want to have fun. Just because it's email doesn't mean it's boring as shit.
There's a feature that Andrew, who helps us out with the show, he's the backbone, really, was just describing where when you're in a testing preview of what your email looks like, there's a monkey at the top, and he's got his arm out. It's kind of pointing down, right? And that point and that distance of the arm is meant to tell you if the width of your email fits the majority of the browsers that it might be on, right? And if your width is too far, the arm rips out of the monkey, and you see muscle and bone, and he's like he's dead. I couldn't stop laughing when he told me that. I was like, for a feature that could be it could be a hairline with a digit next to it.
Yeah.
It takes the personality of the company, and it makes it a funny sort of exchange. That's awesome.
Yeah, we try to do a lot of fun stuff like that. Lately, we've been kind of trying to figure out new ways to present our personality. Actually, kind of shift things around a bit. I think we might be removing that from this release. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's on the chopping block. But if we remove something that's that funny and we have a good time with, we always try to inject it back somewhere else. So that way we're not trying to delete humor, just move it around. Sure. Humor is a large part of our brand, of course. We're internet culture here, and the internet is about cats and porn and humor, and that's what it's about. So if you don't know that as an internet company, then you gotta know what's up. So we need to inject more cat humor.
It's a quotable moment of the night.
Actually, awesome. I can't even take credit for that quote. I think it was in Wired. Wired magazine said the internet is built of cat and porn. It's perfect.
No, that makes total sense because it's like Andrew says in the chat room. It's a bit, it's a kind of a cheeky joke, right? And just it's a joke. It's a passing kind of thing. It's not a foundation feature that you must keep and everyone will not like you if you move. No, it's a joke, and you'll find other ways to make jokes in interesting ways. So that totally makes sense that it's going to move on, and you'll find something else.
Yeah, and plus we get bored too.
No, that's good. I mean, it's entertaining you, and it's entertaining at the company for the people who make the product, and it's entertaining for the end users.
Right.
Another sort of design perspective that I think is interesting from the user experience is the way the website works and looks, right? When you get to it as a new user, how you navigate through what is, for many people, a very daunting task, a very complex subject. It can get muddy really, really quick. But the way that the MailChimp website, MailChimp.com, plug, handles that is very clear and concise, and it distills complex ideas down into simple ones. I guess I'm not sure if I have a question about that. Maybe it's like, is that a topic that's discussed a lot because of how inherently complex this emailing process can be?
Yeah, totally. We talk about it on a regular basis. Just like any personality out there, like your personality or my personality, we have to do work. We have to do utilitarian things every day that disguises our personality and it doesn't come out. If we're at the grocery store, we're not being who we are. We're just buying shit. With MailChimp, we have to be careful about all the content we put on because it might cover up that personality, cover up our brand and what we're trying to be as a company. So we're very careful about the content that we put out there, and even how we even craft it. There's a great website internally that we have that you can actually see called voiceandtone.com, and Voice and Tone tells you how we actually communicate with our customers, and it doesn't just copy. And it's not just illustrations all the time. We do this with our marketing content as well. We try to craft it so that it gets out of the way, tells you what it's about, and injects enough personality so that you get it that it's MailChimp.
On that same sort of note, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the page. Yeah, there it is. So with that same philosophy, there's a main tab on MailChimp.com/resources that has got just almost never-ending scrolling page of how to use templates, spam lawsuits, how to use Google Analytics with MailChimp. Again, all of these seemingly difficult concepts and sort of daunting ideas, but it's all of these. Instead of like a Microsoft search, like how to look up your problem and your troubleshooting, and it gives you like 30 different links that you're not quite sure what you're getting. This is a completely different approach to how do I find out the information I need to accomplish the task I'm trying to do, right? And I don't think many companies think that way and take the care and approach that you guys do to helping the consumer navigate through the product.
Yeah, we buy stuff. Everybody at this company buys stuff. So we're all consumers. We also use a lot of web apps. We do a lot of different things that involve the internet here. We're a technology-driven company. So the key element of trying to step out of the way so that we can answer your question as fast as we can, even if you're just searching it through our website or anything like that, it can get to you quickly, and it gets to you quickly, and you understand it quickly. And even if you didn't understand that, you can go to our live chat, and you go directly to a support member that is just like me. We're all young kids. We're all like this, looking at cat gifs all day long. And they will help you, walk you through the problem. And I think that's the big difference between our company, and because it's young, it's like Google, it's like Facebook, it's like all the major companies out there, that we really care about what we do and how we do it so that your life is easier. And that's the only reason I really love MailChimp, for that reason, actually.
Let's take a pause. Let's take a break for a second here. I'm not seeing Herson in the chat room. I'm going to tweet him, and you're going to tweet him right now. We're both having a hard time to get his ass in here because he's the one who made the suggestion, and he's not even around. So I'm kind of pissed. But Herson is not his handle is it? It's something else. Hold on a second. Let me find it.
It's like you got to see his. I think his IM is like almost kind of nasty sounding. Like I don't want to like give up his IM, but.
Oh, yeah, I know this is really exciting for the audience to watch us scroll through and tweet.
It's
But
Art of the Hero. Everybody tweet Art of the Hero. Get his ass in here.
Art
Of
of
the
the
Hero.
Get your ass in design chat now. DesignChat.info/chat. At Serious Ron is pissed at you.
Awesome.
Hopefully
Thank
we're
you, guys.
lighting up the phone. Yeah, thank you to the guys who are, everybody who's tweeting it right now.
That's awesome.
I gotta look something else up real quick. Hold on a second. While we're doing our break, I want to mention here we had Ron, I don't know if you saw this at all. We had a ticket giveaway. The CUSP conference in Chicago is happening next week on Wednesday and Thursday, September 19th and 20th. Go to cuspconference.com, check them out. It's really awesome. This is the 5th year that the conference is going on. And this is the 4th year that DesignChat is a media sponsor for CUSP Conference. And so we did our ticket giveaway again. Gave away two tickets. The value of those tickets are $1,750 each. It's a 2-day conference. It's amazing. It's about the design of everything. Some people they'll probably hate me for saying this. It's like the TED Talks of design, right? They don't bring in all design rock stars. It's doctors and it's philosophers and it's cartoonists and it's all these amazing people, right? Entrepreneurs, people who are it's too hard to even describe in one sentence. Anyway, it's amazing. Check it out, cuspconference.com. And so the ticket raffle ended on Friday night, and today we were able to confirm with our 2 ticket winners, who are Victor Fong of Chicago and Trevor Clifford, also I believe from Chicago. So congratulations to you guys. We'll see you next week at the Museum of Contemporary Art. And congratulations. So thank you to everybody who participated. There were over 1,000 entries. Bravo, bravo. Very good, very good. And we did it different this year where we did, instead of just tweeting, we did Rafflecopter. Yeah, we'll do videos. We'll do videos with the people who won. We'll say hi to them at the show. We're gonna be live broadcasting from the Museum of Contemporary Art next week. So be sure to tune in for that. It's not totally set in stone, but probably around that same time, 8 o'clock. And we will see you then. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be crazy. We're going to talk to some cool people. So promotion over. Back to the monkey. You mentioned the monkey's name earlier. What's it? He's got a name?
Oh yeah. His name's Freddie. Freddie von Chippenheimer. But I just like calling him Freddie because it's too long. Yeah.
Of course his name is Freddie von Chippenmeyer. What the hell else would it be? How did he get named Freddie von Chippenmeyer?
I have no idea. That's on Ben actually. The company's been around since 2004-ish, somewhere around there. Maybe actually 2001. And then I guess he just picked his name up sooner or later. I don't know.
He's gonna have a name that's the right one to have, man, no doubt. Oh man. Quick searches also reveal that you have a number of shirts on sale at Threadless, which are very awesome. Talk a little bit about those and how you started designing those shirts.
For money. In 2005, I was kind of wandering through the internet and came across this small little company called Threadless.com, and they had a contest for $2,000 for a winning design. So like the month of January, or I can't remember what month it was, but they'll pick one design, and that winning design would get $2,000 and their shirt printed. Funny thing about that is now, if you win at Threadless, I think you win like $3,000. So it's kind of crazy, like how much it's grown since 2005. But just kind of, I did a weird design and it got picked, and I was kind of stoked on it, and I kept doing designs there and really liked it. And it was a great community. There's a lot of great people I still know from that era, and I still keep in touch with them, and it's really cool stuff. A lot of the designers that are very popular now came from that community. Ollie Moss was one of them, and it's pretty cool.
That's pretty I mean, $3,000 for a T-shirt design. I mean, that's a price you'd hear like if you were commissioned, by an agency maybe, to put in the time. It's a pretty and considering like how many shirts they put out every year, that's a pretty substantial amount. And I mean, I think that's really a sign of the strength, the current strength of the design community, and the willingness of those people to participate. Talk a little bit, about your experience about reaching out and doing maybe some stuff like AIGA. I don't know if you've been involved at all, or being part of like supporting your local community also.
The problem with my local community is it's very small, and we're all really busy, and it's kind of hard to link up. So I end up like a lot of my community that I hang out with is online. Threadless really started that trend for me. The Threadless blog back then was, just a lot of us talking about design and art and illustration, and really coming into our own as what we are as designers today. Like locally, like currently going now, we're, like the conferences themselves, like conferences like Greenville Grok, South by Southwest, they're just large meeting groups for designers to like link up with people, get to know people, drink with people, get drunk with people, and it's a good scene. Dribbble has been a big part of my life recently, and the designers on Dribbble, I've made some good friends there, and I've watched people grow as designers. I've watched people like, it's been some really interesting things going on Dribbble, and I think that's a great community to like even just get to know the industry itself, and then you make your friends off there, and you just either use IM or email or even call them up and see what's up. So
talk a little bit about that. That's specifically that community. It's Dribbble isn't so it's something that I'm sort of like high level aware of, right? But I haven't like jumped in. My real sort of limited understanding of it is that it was built so that while you're beginning a project or you got to an interesting point of a project, to share what you're doing. It's not necessarily finished work. It's not like a portfolio site. Wasn't intended as that. It was meant to stir up discussion about what you're currently doing. Is that right?
That was the initial pitch by Dan Cederholm, one of the guys at Dribbble. And I was on Dribbble pretty early. I was lucky enough to get an invite. And overall, like I've seen the community kind of change and do strange things, and I've seen it go from like, very like process driven to finished work, to where people design for actually 300 by 400. I've seen people use it as like a warm up exercise, like every day they just kind of drop new posts. I did that for a little while. And then all of that kind of goes back to what Flickr was doing with the 365 days project, make something cool. And so you kind of see some of the stuff that Threadless was doing, some of the stuff that was going on with Flickr applied to Dribbble in a different type of mixture. And the crazy thing about Dribbble is there's a shit ton of industry on Dribbble now. And if you start making it to the front page, you're actually going to be seen by a lot of different people that go to it daily. And it's actually become a really good tool for designers these days.
That's an interesting idea. That
Deviant art.
What?
I just saw your DesignChat links, Deviant art. There's also the Behance Next network too. That's another one.
Yeah. last week we were talking to the Ryan Ford, who was a creative director at DeviantArt for 4 years during their biggest growth period. So it's between last week and this week, it's a lot of discussion about these online communities, right? And what you brought up is an interesting point. Now that specific community at Dribbble, really has a lot of activity and buzz going on. That means that people who also are not only creating but hiring
Yeah.
are seeing that work. So if you become popular or you do something that's interesting and gets talked about on Dribbble, the ability for you to find new work and new opportunities kind of explodes there.
Yeah, totally. That's what all of these networks promise. Like that's what Threadless kind of pitched a little bit in the beginning. We'll make you famous. And like all of these type of forums that like do this, you just end up having to find your niche and where you actually can communicate with people. You got
Hmm.
trolls, you got lurkers, you got people that are just trying to steal stuff. But then you got really genuine people that are putting themselves out there on the internet where people steal on a regular basis. Um, and you got to applaud that. And those are the type of people I'm gravitated to on the internet itself because they're being honest, they have some kind of ethics, and they're not just ripping off people's work. But there is definitely those type of people in the forums and in these communities that turn most people away. But there is a lot of good people, and you can get a lot of work just by doing good work in these communities.
I'm almost sick of hearing myself say it, but the buzzwords of social network, are dominating conversation for the last couple of years, and will probably continue to dominate, you know, how we view the web. Uh, what are your social networks? I mean, outside of Dribble, obviously. Uh, are you on Google Plus? Does Facebook do anything for you? How do you use them? Where do you find the most value out of participating in different social networks?
Uh, this is the worst thing to say. I'm very lazy when it comes to that shit. Facebook, I have account. I'm on there. I check it every once in a while, but it's not something I frequent. Um,
Hmm.
Twitter, I used to be on Twitter a lot, and I pretty much use Twitter to reach out to people, and then I started direct messaging, and then it ends up being an IM conversation. A
Right.
lot of the people I have conversations with now are still in instant messenger, um, iChat. That's just how I communicate with people. Um, I use Twitter just to really start the ball rolling, and then after that, I take it of something that's a little bit more private. Um, I don't really. I just kind of lurk around all the different forums like Reddit and stuff like that, and I catch on what the news is going, and that's how I do things nowadays. I don't really use the social networks that people are trying to make it sound like as tools for anything I do. And I guess they gotta rethink that for capturing me as an audience.
Reddit is one of the ones I was going to bring up because they've had a pretty dramatic growth in the last 2 or 3 years, and there's some new subreddits, our graphic design, our typography, uh, that seem to be gaining traction also as the more and more different types of people show up there. Do you think that's a forum? I mean, because especially on Reddit, you get it casts a really wide net. You've got the kids coming out of high school or junior high even who've got Photoshop, and they're just starting to discover, but they know how to piss people off too. Um,
That's the best kind.
I know, and a lot of weird and amazing things happen. But that sort of discussion is like, if you think about like designobserver.com and the discussion that happens there, and how that differs from discussion and discovery that happens on a subreddit. These are two very different worlds, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I know the internet is a crazy place. And you just can end up in the weirdest spots, and I don't know how I navigate and find things in the internet these days. It's either like it comes from Found or all the multiple blogs I scour, Tumblr, Reddit. It's just there's so much information that the internet has, and what comes to the top, I can't tell you why it does, but it does, and that's the stuff I usually end up catching. I don't really dig deep. It's just you're not going to find anything good.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time wading through crap to find one piece of gold.
Yeah, yeah, and I'd much rather do that in a library or a bookstore or something that's a little bit more analog when it comes to that type of searching.
How big of a part of your life and your creative life is analog right now?
It's a daily thing. All of my sketches, everything I do that's digital, starts as a sketch. Sometimes a little bit more rendered, but it all starts from analog, and then I translate it into digital. And then the main problem is how do I pull that final product back into analog? There it is.
Nope.
Awesome.
Minutes. He heard us. Speak and you will be heard.
Yeah, that's one thing good about Twitter is you can directly hit people like immediately, like where the fuck's up, and then that's kind of what I use Twitter for.
Sometimes they listen to you, sometimes they don't. I've been trying to get oh, why am I totally blanking on her name now? I'm gonna delete this part of the podcast because it's embarrassing. Cat the tattoo artist that's got her TV show.
Kat Von D.
Yeah, Kat Von D. I've been trying to hit her up on Twitter, and she's not hearing that, man. To get her on the show, and and personalities like that, because I think designers and creatives, would like to hear from a creative person like that, in a completely different, sort of venue. Why is Wacom for show-offs?
It's just, it's like 1980s future of like you don't have to type, you can write it on a like I don't know, it's just like it's just stupid as shit, man. It's just for like deviant art artists.
Nice, that's going on.
Sorry, dog.
Photoshop painters.
Yeah, totally.
I can't say I've ever had one or bought one, but it's one of those things like there are moments where I can't get the right line, and I know I can draw it. I know with a pencil in my hand I can get the line I want, but I can't, like, for whatever reason, maybe I'm having a bad day. My Bezier curve isn't going the way I want. It's not understanding how I'm telling it to work. And in those moments, I'm like, fuck, if I had a Wacom tablet, man, I could bang this thing out right here. And it's frustrating.
See, that's where they lie, man. You can't just bust it out. Like I think I have a dusty one somewhere around here, but you just can't bust it out. There's no busting in Wacom. It's like you either do that shit with a pencil or a pen, or you learn your fucking Bezier curves. That's it.
Right.
It's like
Are you telling me I got to learn my Bezier curves now?
skills, son.
Damn, I'm learning some shit tonight. I didn't know that was gonna happen. I gotta go home and work.
Yeah, man. I've been on this shit since 8.
Nice. You're gonna make me spit my whiskey on my computer and bye-bye DesignChat. This is the only computer I got, man. I'm dead in the water without this thing.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Speaking of nerded out on machines and equipment, we've got the today is September 12th, October 12th. No, yeah, October 12th.
Yeah.
Fuck, no, September 12th.
Wait.
Man, I don't even.
Oh yeah.
I don't know which way is up. I don't know which
Twin
way is up.
Towers, man. Twin Towers. Like yesterday. Fucking unpatriotic.
I know, I'm upside down. So today was the Apple announcement is what I was getting to. New iPhone. There was a lot of chatter about it today. Not specifically about that, but like, what are your digital surroundings? Are you Apple all the way? Do you got an Android device? Like, what are the things that you depend on?
I am Apple all the way. It's just always been that way. But I'm not gonna lie, Android's got some slick shit with Galaxy. There's some cool stuff like the way they're doing their user interfaces. Even the way it's built, it's cool. But I just have a lot of Apple shit. My main thing is at home. I just got a large TV with a Mac Mini hooked up to it, and that's my desktop. That's my desktop. So I get to sit on the couch, chill out, and surf the internet and have YouTube time, and it's cool. Good times.
That's something I haven't done yet. So a lot of people choose the Mac Mini as their media server over an Apple TV. Was that an intentional choice for you, or did was that when you decided to hook it up? Did you buy it just for that, or was it a machine that just sort of transcended into that use?
No, I just bought it just for that. I didn't, I just wanted to be able to surf like I'm on my laptop, but I didn't want to have it on my lap. I want to sit on my couch, drink beer, and watch fucking cats on the internet.
Yeah, fucking cats or cats fucking. By the way, this week we're gonna have the explicit tag on iTunes. Yes, we are.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm not supposed to curse, am I? I'm supposed to be like chill.
At this point, it doesn't fucking matter, does it? We got 45 minutes of show. No, honestly, like sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Like for me, it depends on the vibe with the guest. If I'm talking to Uncle Glazer, I'm playing nice guy. But come on, you got you all the time.
I curse like a drunken sailor. It's like one of my problems. If I can't come up with something to say, just put fuck in it. It works every time.
There's a commercial right now by Nissan, and they're highlighting their feature of when you fill your tire with air and it gets to, it's full, it's hit its top PSI, the horn beeps, and the whole commercial is a guy that sort of steps over the line all the time, and the horn beeps in his regular life. So he's doing an interview, and he shakes a guy's hand, but he sort of like touches it and slides it, slaps it on the side, and then you hear beep, and he stops. And then he's going in for a kiss on a girl after a date, and you hear beep, and he's like, he had his mouth open like, beep, and he's, I need that beep, because sometimes I can't turn off that switch to where I'm crossing the line a little bit, and I need to shut up.
Yeah, well, we all have that problem, right? I try not to flip that switch as much because it's my personality and it's who I am. And I want people to get to know me.
We are doing exactly that tonight. So you got, is that's an Oakland hat on? Are you a fan, or you just like the way the A looks?
Oakland? This is fucking ATL, man. ATL. Get your name. Braves.
I thought that was Oakland A's. My bad.
Jeez, man.
I've just shown my true sports colors.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The only reason I wear this hat is because it's a cool A.
Then I was right, dude. You were giving me shit, and I was right. I knew that there was a chance that you picked that off the shelf because of the way that the A looked, and I was right.
It's true. I don't even watch fucking baseball.
Oh, come on. Seriously? Giving me a hard time. You didn't even watch baseball. All right. I know how the rest of this is going to go.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
I'm messing with you. I don't even want to talk about design anymore. I want to talk about the other objects in your life that you had to pick up because of the way that they looked. What's some stuff that you bought, not because of its reputation, but because it appealed to you as a designer?
Well, I think it.
And then I did a design question. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
Well, you translate design into hipster. I like a lot of hipster shit. Like fucking bicycles, craft beer.
Yeah.
Like plaid shirts. Baseball hats that look cool that I don't even watch baseball.
Person's in the chat. By the way, he showed up. What's up, Person? Thanks for calling. It's almost over.
Yeah. I'm done, dude. You just have to watch the podcast.
And that's it. We're out. Click. No. So that's actually that's a topic that I've been thinking about for a while and trying to figure out a way to bring it up without being an idiot, is this whole like, there's a lot of like anti-hipster internet comedy stuff going on, and I don't even know if I want to call it controversy, but like some people don't want to be identified as hipster. Some people want to be identified really bad as hipster because that's what's cool right now. It's definitely like a subject that kind of, you know, can piss some people off. Like you obviously you don't have a problem with it because you're like I like stuff that you can qualify as hipster.
I do. I think it's fucking stupid. It's just like you look back at a whole bunch of things. Right now, our generation is at a point where we can make shit. We can buy the shit that we make. And unfortunately, a lot of us in this generation have the same tastes. And it just gets labeled as hipster. If you looked at that shit in the early 90s, it was hippie or grunge and new wave before that. You had disco before that, and then you have hippie yet again before that. And it's just another thing of labeling. I like anything that people put time and effort into, and they make it, and if it looks cool, and I like it. And if it's labeled as hipster, then I don't really care. Like I like gangster rap. That's not labeled as hipster, but I do think it is in a hipster category somewhere.
Maggie Moore in the audience says, "Design hipsters are the ones making anti-hipster shit anyway." She's probably right.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
In the audience, hey, we're almost going to wrap up here. Actually, Herson, you are almost done, so you are only going to get a little bit of it. But people in the audience, we always encourage you guys to ask questions. The chat room can, you know, sometimes fly by and we won't see it, but there's a red Ask a Question button. Please click on that and either type in your question, or if you've got a video camera like Herson, I know Herson doesn't, he better get on camera. You can be on camera and be part of the visual conversation. So please join, please ask questions, please participate. Anybody who's watching this and not signed in, you got to sign in to do it. I know it's kind of a pain in the butt, and actually, Ron and I had a little bit of difficulty today we did a test run. Thank God we did a test run earlier today.
It was awful. Awful.
That was rough, man. I think we figured out that you guys are behind a firewall, and that caused us some issues. It messed up the platform a little bit, but thank God we got it working. Because you're here now and we're making cool stuff happen. So, Herson, you better get on, dude. I mean, I've kind of run through my, like I was saying, my designy questions, all that kind of stuff. What else outside of the art or design world, or what do you got going on there? This has got weird. Screen capture. Oh my God. Where did that come from, man?
I just had to do it, man. Like I was thinking about not doing it, but I was like, oh, I gotta do that. That's so weird.
That's rad. Is that like a standard issue, standard employee issue chimp head you got to carry around with you?
No, we just got we made a chimp costume like 2 years ago, and we never really use it. And I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to at least give it a try.
Can you wear it for the rest of the show? We probably won't be able to hear you talk.
Yeah, the problem with that is it's hot as hell. Like it's.
That's what it's doing.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually yelling at you. It's Chad Kriz, who has asked questions on the show before. Wants to know, is that a MailChimp screen print behind you?
That one, I guess, right? Yeah, that's actually just large format. A lot of the stuff we make is digital first, and then we screen print it. We have screen printed it before. It's been on T-shirts. We've made a couple posters. We try to screen print as much as we can here, just because that's kind of my history, and that's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we have screen printed, and that's a screen print as well.
You know, that just kind of made me think of something. Like, you know how a lot of like design groups, sometimes they'll, like 37 Signals used to be a design group, then they transition to be they're making products. Does MailChimp ever talk about, or have they in the past, creating other products from in-house that aren't necessarily related to mail?
We have actually. Let's see. Long reply was kind of like just a long Twitter, so you can actually write more than 140 characters. But ultimately, it all kind of turns back to mail. We kind of venture off the reservation a little bit, and then we always try to bend it back to what email can do and how email can help you, and how to make email easier. Mandrill is one of those things that we're trying to make email easier. There's Harrison.
Oh, look who decided to show up.
Hey!
How's it going?
High five.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Better late than never, right?
Yeah,
for real.
Thank you, Harrison, for suggesting that Ron be on tonight, because this has definitely been a cool conversation. I know you've only caught part of it, but I just want to thank you for reaching out and suggesting him.
Oh yeah, of course.
Thanks.
No, I was scared. I hope I didn't jump ahead and put Ron on the spot. But Ron's I know. No, Ron's a cool guy. When I met him at Creative Mornings. Man, and I thought, I was sitting by myself. He was sitting in around the same area, and I saw him, and I was like, man, this guy could beat me up. He was wearing his beard, and it was cold, his jacket, all hipstered up, And I was like, man, this guy. And then, we started talking, and he was just the coolest guy. And I could have never imagined, he's art director at MailChimp, which is huge. And I just have a lot of respect for Ron. And he's a cool guy, coolest dude ever.
Thanks, Harrison.
So, Harrison, you got a question for him tonight that you haven't already asked?
No, when we're gonna hang out.
You know where I'm at. Just come on down. Just tell me you want to get lunch, and we'll go get lunch. It's easy.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, yeah. No, no real question. Not at the top of my head. Yeah, but I wanted to get on and say that, say what's up. I know I was late, but I made it.
Awesome.
Harrison, you're forgiven, and thank you for being a dedicated fan and participating in so many of the shows that you have. You really contribute in a really cool way, and it's just awesome to to see people reach out like that. So I just want to thank you personally for participating in DesignChat the way that you have.
Oh no, thank you. Anytime, whatever I can do to help. I know you're doing a great job with DesignChat. It's helped me. I've been on it since a long time ago. It's helped me a lot. So
I was trying to figure that out. We started in 2009, and we started doing video about 13 episodes into that. I was trying to figure out when you started to fold into the mix.
So I think, not sure, but I think it was when you had this guy's name, Signal Noise.
James White.
James White, I think. I'm not sure. But I think that was my first episode. And then after that, I was just...
Canadian designer. If you guys haven't checked him out, I think his website is signalnoise.com. Does a lot of cool posters and just a lot of really cool artwork. And he'll rethink a famous movie poster, and he'll put his own spin on it. He did and he does some video broadcasting too, some sort of question and answer kind of stuff, inspirational stuff. So check him out.
Yeah, Disney should have used his Tron poster for sure.
Yeah.
He did a Tron poster.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, thanks again. I'm gonna drop your call and keep on keeping on, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on. Thanks to everybody. Safe travels and get some good design done.
Yeah, people, that's the end of the show. Next week we're going to be broadcasting from Cusp, same bat time, same bat channel. So check us out. And everybody say hi to Ron on Twitter. He's at SeriousRon, which is funny because he's never serious.
But I got serious on my arm, so I'm pretty serious.
You got serious?
Yeah.
Serious? Look at that. Nice, man.
So I'm kind of serious, just kind of.
Just kind of. Thanks, Maggie, in the chat room. Thanks, Ryan Kindinger. It's Chad Kriz said he tweeted earlier that he missed the answer to his own question. You'll have to catch the podcast. It'll be up soon, guys. So thanks again. We'll talk to you guys soon. Follow us all on Twitter. We love you guys. Okay, bye.